Welcome to World Harps. My name's Neptune. Who's online today? I've got right here a brand new package of Estonian Parmupills, mouth harps that I have been waiting for all summer. And I'm super excited. They finally got here. And in this package, I have about 40 mouth harps, or Parmupills as they're called in Estonia, ready to go. So I know a lot of you have been waiting for these. Some of you have already tried placing orders for these. I've told you, hold on, the package will arrive and will happen. So I am currently located in the US. I'm in California and I'm here not very much longer. So whatever comes out of here, first dibs will be the people here in California or anywhere in the US. Domestic shipping will be the easiest while I'm in the country. So if you're in the US and you want a mouth harp, US or Canada, or any on this hemisphere, this side of the world, this is a great opportunity for you to order one, because I'm gonna take whatever's left back to India, and then everyone who's tuning in from India, I'm gonna be able to bring them to you. Now, if you're in India and you see one that you like and you decide that you really want me to hold on to this for you, I can bring it back and you can place your order with me already. So don't worry. I'm just saying that while I'm here, I can ship out to the US. So I haven't even officially announced. I am opening the box while I'm talking. But let's see what we got here. Deepak Khanna, hey, greetings and blessings from India. Yes, fantastic. Got a few people online already. Hi, everyone. So once again, my name is Neptune, and this is World Harps, mouth harps from around the world. Opening a brand new shipment of mouth harps from Estonia called Parmupills. And voila. Wow, that's pretty. I wish my phone were not in use. I would actually take a picture of that. That's really cool. I'm gonna go like this so I can take a screenshot after. Ready? Okay. All right. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna organize these according to key. I believe I have at least one of every single note in the diatonic range across nearly 3 octaves, or more than 3 octaves. Let's see, I'm starting from G0 all the way up to D3. So that's quite a lot of harps. Look how nicely packed they are here. All layer by layer, makes it really easy for me to pull them out and reorganize them according to notes. So while I organize here, I'm going to prepare, I'm going to put them all in order, and then I'm going to play one of each. Okay, so bear with me while I organize. Let me show you what they look like, first of all. Look at that. That right there. That's gorgeous. So here's a G0, that's the lowest one. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and start and play one of these, and we'll find all of them as we go through them. Look at the suppleness here. So flexible. I call this the ultra bass range. What a sustain. Wow, does it even have a little bit of a draw start? Huh? It mutes it, it cuts it off after a while, but you can sustain the note. Right. So G0, that's the first lowest of the line here. And let's go ahead and just one by one find the next note as we're going up. Now I do have, I put out a post, actually I did a video like this back in April when I had received a box of these to India. I had been once again waiting for them for a very long time, at least a year. The waiting period of time for one of Mopil's mouth harps, or a box of them, is anywhere from a half a year to a year to year and a half. Like, this is sort of how it goes. So whenever the shipment comes in, it's really like candy time. I mean, look at that. Keeping the one that I played aside, stacked here on the left, G0. Next would be A0. Now, A0 is one of my favorites in this range. I have one that I've kept for myself. It's a little bit more playable than the G, just a little bit higher and a little bit more versatile. So listen to this. Also, it has an incredible sustain. Giving that little wipe. Always wipe your Parmupills with the inside of the t-shirt, for example, right here. Don't want to use the outside of a t-shirt to wipe any mouth harp, because when they do get rusted, they can, that rust can just transfer right onto the outside of your t-shirt, and that sucks. So inside of your t-shirt, these are brand new, and oftentimes, even if you just use your fingers and wipe down in the blade, in the tongue here and the crevices, that is enough to get the humidity of your breath off of the mouth harp, which can really stop the rust. If you just play a mouth harp, especially one of these Parmupills, super shiny and bright, but made of steel that's highly rustable, and you just put it down, come back to it the next day, you can notice that there's little traces of tarnish right in a little like half circle, or like, little lip shape. It's really interesting actually to observe how much a breath and the humidity on your breath will affect the steel. So that was A0. And next we're finding B0. I did not order any sharps in this particular shipment because people request the sharps or flats, as they're also known, very less than actual whole notes. Back in India, I do have a few C sharp, which are really interesting for handpan players. A lot of handpan players have handpans in C sharp, and therefore are looking for mouth harps in C sharp as well. And A sharp, or B flat as it's called, is really, really wonderful for melodic playing. That is a great note if you're interested in melodic playing on a mouth harp. A B flat or A sharp is great. So I do have a few of those back in India. I will be back in India in October, so I can ship those out once I get back. But right now, right here, I don't have any sharps. It's all just the whole notes, like the white keys on the piano, ready to go. Next, we have the B0. A little bit more bouncy, a little bit more audible because it's a little bit louder than the G0. Also a very long sustain, a little bit less than the previous two because, well, naturally, it's slightly stiffer. So the sustain will be a little bit shorter. All right, that was B0, tucking it back on its block, setting it off to the side. And let me take a little moment here and just pull up something that I wrote last year about the different ranges of Parmupills. I've categorized these into 4 different groups. Okay, we have the first group is ultra bass, and this is the type that I am playing right now. It's the ultra bass range. So I'm just going to the World Harps profile, and I'm going to scroll down to one of my posts that I put out last year, because the caption in there, and you can find it if you go down to past all of my mouth harping in the Himalayas, Himalayan harping videos. I was in Nepal in May, and I brought back a whole bunch of more chungas and played a lot of mouth harp in the mountains. I have another 10, 15, at least more videos to post that I still haven't posted. And I'm going to be doing that over time. So let's see, going down here. How to choose your favorite Parmupill, right here. There's a post right in the middle. That's the one you're looking for if you want to go read this for yourself. But I'm going to open it for you today and tell you a little bit about what the post says, because this is really important for you to pay attention to while you're listening to the different Parmupills that I'm playing here today. I realized that doing a live video like this is really helpful for you to understand how to choose a mouth harp. If I just post a video with a close-up of one particular type of mouth harp and a single audio sample, that's fantastic. But getting out here and really showing you what they sound like and actually explaining them, it's almost as if you were standing in front of the World Harps table and I were able to present to you directly. So that's why I'm here doing these things. Thank you for joining. Let's see if anybody else has commented in the meantime. All right. Nice. I recognize some few people here. Hey everyone. Super glad to see you online. Thanks for joining me. So, Master Mopil produces perfectly tuned mouth harps straddling across 4 chromatic octaves from G0 to D3. Okay, so it's important to know what kind of character and individual character and playability that you're looking for when you're choosing your favorite key. The first group, I'm going to skip all the blah blah in my post, you can read that for yourself, but the essential is that the ultra bass range is from G0 to D1. I found it very interesting that I put this post out last year where I decided to call this range the ultra bass, and after doing a live video I saw popping up in every direction mouth harp makers and sellers all started labeling the ultra bass for any super low frequencies. And I think that was really cool because the ultra bass range, or the ultra bass as an appellation for a mouth harp that is so incredibly deep that it just growls in your face, is something that is a term that I came up with a few years ago already, but that was the first time I posted it out, and now it seems to have caught on. I'm really excited about that. So thanks everyone for going ahead with the ultra bass. This is the ultra bass range. Growling with subliminal frequencies, these meditative Parmupills play light and airy with hallucinogenic overtones. Some of the deepest mouth harps in the world, ultra bass Parmupills are particularly incredible with amplification. All right, now I'm going to go through the range and then I'll read the next one so you've got a better explanation of what each particular range is about. Now for anyone who just tuned in, seeing as I just explained that, I'm going to go ahead and just give a little demo very briefly. Once again, G0, making sure to wipe it, get all that humidity off. Next is the A0. And after that, third one that I've already played is the B0. And a little wipe. All right, next, that was B. We're looking for a C1. Got it, right here. There's no point in categorizing them all. I will just spot them one by one. I think it's a little bit quicker that way. So, C1, first octave. We've run through the few that are there in the 0 octave. As you can see, or as you can hear, this has a lot more playability, a lot more bounce to it. The stiffer the tongue, or the reed, as it's also called, the more playable or bouncy it is. Now, of course, if you go to the extreme of super stiff, then it's very difficult for a mouth harp to resound with this bounce, as I'm talking about. But that's a whole different story. But these Parmupills by Mopil, even the highest, are incredibly twangy and bouncy, and that's what I love so much about them. So that's the C1. Listen to the sustain. Pretty long. There's one more in the ultra bass range. Where's the block? Right here. All of these Parmupills come in these custom blocks that are designed especially for this particular mouth harp. You see how they've got a little leather strap. The strap just pops right over that that rod sticking through, which is actually a long rivet, almost just right through the hole in the wood. So it's quite ingenious if you ask me, but that is the characteristic well-known case of the Estonian Parmupill. Next is the D1, final mouth harp in the range. Got it. In the ultra bass range. Once again, it's going to be even a little bit higher, a little bit bouncier. And there you have it. From G0 to D1, the ultra bass range. Now I'm going to go through the bass range. The bass range goes from E1 to B1. Solid like a bass guitar. The frequencies in this range are saturated, heavy, and prominent in acoustic presence. Bass Parmupills are awesome for diaphragmatic breathing techniques like the rolling breath, also the bounce breath. These are two breathing types that I teach in my workshops. Once again, for anyone who just tuned in, we have here a post on the World Harps profile. It's called How to Choose Your Favorite Parmupill. And within the post, you have all the different ones that you can go through. All right, so we're going to jump into the bass range playing E1. Let me find it. E1, got it. So, far more playable, and not only playable in the sense of being able to play a rhythm, to go for a melody, hold something that's not merely, once again, the G0. It's not as easy to play a melody on such a low, deep mouth harp. But those are really for meditative experiences. It's like really you're playing for yourself, or if you play into a microphone, it's unbelievable the sound effects that you can produce. In the bass range, we start hearing some more of the melodics. So it's a little bit, Parmupills are amazing for melodic playing. Truly, truly fantastic. The higher they go, the more incredible the melodics. The lower they go, the more unbelievably mind-blowing are the bass frequencies. So you really have two ends of the spectrum, and across that spectrum, you have everything in between. And that's where I'm taking you, is through a journey of everything in between. So what was that again? That was an E1, already fine and playable. And I'm gonna go into F1, right here. Wow, super full bodied, eh? That was the F1 Parmupill from Estonia, going through the entire range. Man, I really love starting at the bottom and working my way up. It's like a climax growing. F, G, G1. Imagine the sound. Ready? Picture it. Feel it. If that was F, what is the G gonna sound like? Well, sounds like a G, but a low G. Not as low as the other one. What's really cool about the Parmupills is because they have different octaves, it's actually possible to play 2 different octaves together. And I like to connect 3 different octaves together so I can alternate between them. Some of my videos have it. I take a little coin from Denmark that's got a hole in it, got a little nut and a wing, a little bolt and a wing nut, and I stick them together in what I call like a Parmupill ninja star. And I have a lot of fun with that. But listen. Sometimes I get really lost when I'm playing on a live video. I kind of forget that I'm supposed to be just giving you little samples and demos. But hey, that's why it's live and there's unlimited time, right? This was, where did the block go? I keep picking it up, putting it down somewhere else. Here we go. This was a G1 in the bass range, giving a nice wipe, sitting it down, also wiping the low one because I didn't have time to do that. And we're jumping into A1. Got it. A little bit more percussives popping in here. I can actually do a lot more because the springiness of the tongue offers me a lot more versatility and as we go higher up in the range. And yet the sustain is still super long. I love it. All right. These are, by the way, one of my favorite one of my favorite types of mouth harps. People often ask me, what is your favorite? And to be honest, I keep a little kit. I don't have it with me on this table right now, but I could run to get it before the end of the live video, but I have to leave the screen blank for a minute. I keep an entire diatonic set for myself. So if I need to go anywhere and bring a set of mouth harps with me, that I would be able to jump on stage with anybody and any musician and just know that I can have the confidence to have mouth harps that'll do in any situation. I use my Parmupills. And in my kit, I not only have the whole octave, diatonic octave of 8, I start from a G1 to A2, but I've actually started expanding that. I also have a G0, I have A2, and then I like to go all the way up into the B and even into the C range. I also have E1, because then I have a wide range. Anyway, that's my personal collection. I absolutely love these. I'm really excited to present these to you today, even though I did a live video literally of this situation just half a year ago or less. I figured it's worth it doing it again because whole new stock, whole new situation. I'm now in America and I want to do this so that anyone who's here in the US can go ahead and order one before I leave the country in just a week or two. I'm gonna start wrapping up. So this is our chance. That was an A1. Let's go into, what's the end of our bass range here? B1. We have one more in the bass range. B1. There we go. Volume, emphasis, power. I can blast through with my breath and it all comes forward. There's so much to happen in here. But listen, not only does it have power, but it also has, as I said earlier, the melodics. These are warm melodics. These are hearty, wholesome. Also, one of the things you can do with a mouth harp that plays in this range, it has a good bounce, very deep, very bassy, is to play it like a bass guitar. Now, 2 videos away, I'm going to do one more panorama from my trip in the Himalayas at the Annapurna base camp when I was there in May. I posted one a week or 2 ago and I finally got to the top. But I'm going to post one of the sunrise. Beautiful array. And I've got a tracking situation where I can put my phone on a tripod and it can follow me. So I have a 340-degree view of the mountain range all around me. So I'm going to be posting that soon. After I post that video, I'm going to post another video called Annapurna Base Camp. Get it? And in that, I use this technique where I play with 2 fingers. I think it'll sound even a little bit better in a lower. Let's try something. Let's try the E1. Let's see if that does it. All right, enough of a segue. That was just something I wanted to share. Check out my videos. I post those from neptunechapotin.music. You can find the link or to my handle in the bio from right here at World Harps. That's the link to my music page, and I often cross-post, so you can see them on both anyways. Anyways, that was a B1. And let's jump straight into the next range, which is the treble range. So we had ultra bass, bass, treble, and there will be super treble. So 4 groups, all divided up into the corresponding category of character. Let me get some water because I am talking and playing a lot. So the treble range from C2 the G2. This is a post on World Harps. You can check it out for yourself if you want to read it entirely. Warm and rich in tone and melodic properties, treble Parmupills are fabulously playable. With a wide range of capabilities, they are great for jamming and overall mouth harp music. That is true. As I mentioned a moment ago, my personal range of Parmupills in my diatonic set ranges from G1 to a 2, G2. So I've crossed over that whole range. I have more than an entire set. And I like these because they really have the best playability when you want to jam with other musicians. So I'm going to run through this range right here, starting with a C in the 2nd octave, right in the middle. Boom. Listen to the melodics starting to pop up. I'm dancing my tongue on the roof of my mouth. Na, 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 na. You can do that too. Try it. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. A little bit of a... Okay, I'm getting lost. The point here is that, yes, I can do a lot of different things in the treble range. This is a C2. It's like your classic harmonica. It's right in the middle. It's your all-rounder. Probably goes with anybody else who can play a C with you. And even in the treble range, did you hear that sustain? Man, I love these things. All right, not forgetting to give it a little wipe, make sure I don't have any breath on it. That was a C2. I'm gonna go ahead with D2 in the treble range. Okay, jumping forward because I really can't stay too long on one single mouth harp. Otherwise, you will listen to me for 10 minutes per mouth harp and this whole entire thing will last for 3 hours. It often does last for 2.5 hours just to get through one block. So today I'm trying to really keep it a little bit more concise because when you want to go back and watch the video later and reference all the different keys, it's a little bit more tricky if it's a 3-hour video. So, where were we? That was a D2. And we're now on E2. Let's see, where is it? Right here. At the end of this video, before I end today, I will go back, because I'm keeping all of these that I just played in line perfectly. The case is opened, everything right down here. You can't see it because it's on the table. But I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna play without discussion, like I usually do. One little sample on every single mouth harp. So keep in mind that if you want to come back, you can scroll to the end of the video. At the very bottom, there is a little bar that you can move forward in a longer video on Instagram and actually jump to the end and listen to all of them, and I'll announce the names and play them one by one. So if you're really confused about which one you'd like to get, I'll help you with that. All right, now E2. A little bit, really a lot more melodics in this one. You hear how suddenly it just kind of jumps into that level of clarity of tone that feels like it's coming from inside, deep inside the mouth, but it's really coming from right here. Wow, this shipment is really, really, really wonderful. It always surprises me every time I get a new stock of Mopils, Parmupills, because even the design, they look exactly the same, but the design always changes a tiny bit. It seems to always get a little bit slimmer and slimmer. The first one that I have that I got some back in 2011, it's very straight, the sides. There's not much taper in this edges here, right? It's getting narrower, slimmer. That's a better design for melodic playing, because you really keep your mouth even tighter, your teeth closed a little bit more, so you can concentrate the sound even more. So Mopil is a fantastic maker, and he's just getting better after all these years. Now, I noticed, I'm going to pause here in my playing just to jump back to Botanical Talib had asked a question: how did you seek out and connect with the artisan for these harps? Well, my process of finding each mouth harp maker around the world is a very long process. Sometimes somebody tells me, hey, there's a mouth harp maker in so-and-so place, you should check them out. Sometimes I have to go ahead and spend hours of online research trying to look for all the right keywords that I know to look for to be able to try to identify where in the world might be a particular mouth harp maker in a specific region that I'm looking for. Like, for example, I have some chung. I thought they were morchungs from Rajasthan, from North India. Many years, it's one of the first morchungs that I ever got in Rajasthan. And I actually realized that they likely actually were made in Gujarat, in the far western corner of India called Kutch. And I've been searching, researching, finding out, screenshotting, saving notes. And I think I have identified the village where at least one or two of these makers reside. And I think that the mouth harps that I have in this particular design, very slim, slender morchungs, they're not actually morchungs from Rajasthan. I believe they are chungs from Kutch in Gujarat, very close to Pakistan. So I'm not sure if I said Pakistan earlier. Mistake if I did. I meant Gujarat in India, in northwestern India. So that's basically back-end work trying to find where I need to go next. And I've been dreaming to go up to Kutch. Right now, Burning Man is happening. I am having major Burning Man blues because I am in California and I did not choose to go this year, and I'm here instead, choosing not to be out in the desert. I'm really missing it. I've been to Burning Man many times. I really love it. I took a hiatus for 12 years and I went back last year for the first time. And it's flat, salt flats. It's the flat desert. That's where they broke the speed of sound on land in a car because it's so long and so flat. And Gujarat, the salt flats of Kutch, also are very similar to this in topography. It would be really cool. I think they should have Burning Man, regional burn in India on the run of Kutch, on these salt flats. It would be amazing. Anyways, but I'm going off into a tangent again. And this particular maker, Mopil in Estonia, I went to Estonia in 2013. And I had already a Parmupil that I had gotten in 2011. And I loved it very much. It was in the key of F2. And there I met a mouth harp player. I heard about another mouth harp player. I did some more research. I was in the country for 3 to 4 weeks. And one friend told me, well, this is where we get these mouth harps from. And he told me where to go, and he got me in touch with the maker, and I went and visited him. and sat down at his kitchen table and had a long discussion about his work. And I didn't at the time get to see him actually make one, but I'm looking forward to going back another time, and hopefully I will get a chance to see him actually produce a Parmupill. And in our communication with this last order, he even mentioned to me that he's never been to India, and maybe one day he could come to visit me in India. I think that would be amazing. So this is, I try to establish a very personal relationship with each of the makers that I visit. I'm not interested in just finding out sources of mouth harps, acquiring them, selling them to all of you, because that would just be a business. And I don't run this as a business. This is a way of life. This is my travels, the fruits of my travels, and the experiences that I have to share from each of these travels are what I want to share with you as I bring each of these mouth harps to you. And getting to do lives like this is actually an opportunity for me to tell my stories. And I don't do it nearly as often as I'd like to. But yes, I met this maker in 2013. I've probably ordered 5 or 6 shipments since then, as many as I can gather together in one time. And then I have some for a while because it takes so long to get them. Again, because he's a very busy man. He has a lot of mouth harps to make. So thank you for your question. I'm gonna jump back into my sampling right here. And I was playing an E of what octave? Let's see. I was playing an E2. I don't remember if I played it yet or not, but I'm going to give it a whirl before I go into F2, which is incidentally the first Parmupill that I ever had. It was an F2. So this is E2. Not forgetting to wipe it. Always best to do it with a cloth. I'll wipe all of these and oil them before I pack them away. Always keep your mouth harps oiled. A little bit of coconut oil, a little bit of mineral oil or vegetable oil, whatever you can get together. Just a tiny drop on your fingers. Rub it all over the mouth harp. That's enough. Now looking for F2, right here. It's kind of fun. It's like a game of memory. I look down, see if I see it, try to remember where it was so I can pick it up immediately next time. So F2, same key as my first Parmupill. The whole reason why I went hunting for Mopil in Estonia. This has a tongue that is a little bit high enough, it's stiff enough that I can start double stroking. I probably could have done it earlier, but playing this one, I suddenly had a feeling of, oh, this is how I want to play this. Watch this. I'm playing in both directions. I can also finger stop. You know, slide up the guitar, bend the note. There's so many things you can do on a mouth harp. Do you love mouth harps? If you like mouth harps, drop me a comment. Let me see you. Let me see you're watching, because the little corner of my screen is broken and I have no idea how many people are online right now. I see a little red box and no numbers. So if you're online, let me know you're online, okay? I would love to see you. Tell me who's still here. That was an F2. Putting it back on its case, if I can find the case. I should start putting the case down where it belongs, where I'm gonna place it down next. So here we go. That's for the F2. I'm starting second row. And let's check on our range here. F2, G2. We have one more in the treble range, and then we're gonna jump into the super treble range. Nomad Harpist and Botanical Talib, fantastic. I'm so glad you both are online. I've been wanting to show this moment to you through the entire time that I've been waiting for the package to arrive and while we've been discussing. I've got about, I don't know, a dozen customers that I have been tagging in my recent stories because I'm here and everybody wants to know what I have. So it's really like I have so many different mouth harps, and there's so little time each day to go through all of them and just put out each story, because every time I make a story or a post, it's time to put it all out. And what I should do is just sit here for hours and just play all kinds of different mouth harps. But then you wouldn't find it again because it would be buried in 3 hours of mouth harping. So right now, one particular type, just the Estonian Parmupills. Let's continue here. F2, G2, G2. Oh, there's 2 of them. Nice. The G2, the final mouth harp in the treble range. Great for melodics. Melodic playing. Got hair in my mouth. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and play a second G2 just because I have 2 in front of my nose. And listen to this. Could you tell any difference? Now I can feel a little bit of difference because I can detect the tiny, just minute variations in the vibrations, because every single mouth harp is a unique experience. No matter what the pitch, same maker, every single mouth harp always feels a tiny bit different. But most people can't even detect that. Most people cannot understand the difference with 2 of the same tone. I mean, really, listen to this. And the closer the 2 of the same key, same maker, sound, feel almost identical. That is skill. I mean, seriously. Nomad Harpist is asking me if I can play these 2 again. Yes. So. I love comparisons. I'll do one, I'll do the other one, I'll play this, I'll play that. Super cool. So, could you tell any difference? I think not. If you could, let me know in the message. In the comments, I mean. So, that's that. I'm actually gonna keep one of these away just so I don't play it again on my second time around. As I remind everyone, I'm gonna play all of these one after the other really quickly without discussion in between, just so you can really hear them all. So, that was a G2, and that was the end of the treble range. So now I'm going into the super treble range. Hey, Pops.
As I got no answer, I assumed a yes.
My phone's on silent. I'm doing a live stream right now. I'm online on Instagram. I'll check your messages as soon as I'm done. So, the super treble range. Oh, Papa, could you put it ready and I'll start the laundry as soon as I'm done so I don't get the noise behind?
No.
If it'll hear the machine through, I can start the machine for you.
I'll come back.
What's that?
I'll come back.
Okay, I'll be probably about a half an hour. Thank you. All right. So the super treble range from A2 to D3. That's how high it goes. Oh, before that, I just see some comments. Yeah, Nomad Harpist says very similar indeed. Praxipiel, I'm not sure how we pronounce it. This is no, in fact. So indeed, they're so close. It's really hard, especially if you're not actually playing it. It's very difficult to hear or detect the difference. It's just about the sensation of the vibrations that I know how to tell the difference, but it's interesting if you could as well. So jumping back in here, we've done 3 ranges out of 4. We have 1 more range to go. I'll just refresh. We did the ultra bass range from G0 to D1, the bass range from E1 to B1, the treble range from C2 to G2, and now the super treble range from A2 to D3. Loud and powerful, these Parmupills are explosive and percussive, acutely melodic, and fantastic for double stroking and super fast playing. I already started on the double stroking. It could feel like I could go ahead and play in a double stroke, which means that the range, I mean, I pick the middle point naturally a little bit lower or higher, the ranges will cross over. So it's not like, oh, the super treble range is for double plucking and the mid range is for melodics. No, it's an entire what do they call it? Across the rainbow spectrum. There's a spectrum right here of different sounds from super deep to super high. And dividing it into these 4 groups is just a way for me to communicate to you as best as possible how you can possibly identify and choose them. You double pluck B1, says Nomad Harpist. So B1, let me jump down here. B1, let me just do a little double pluck on this. Yes, double plucking on a B1 gives you a very consistent, very systematic, not super fast, but steady tempo. It's really... I can do that faster as well. But yes, for techno-ish bass, right? So there's so many different techniques that you can play. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm glad to do a little demo on it as well. Let me actually just, before I jump into this final range here, the super treble range, let me tell you a little bit about double plucking, because we're about to go into this right here. Good old Daft Punk robot rock. Yes, botanical tilly. Yes. So there's a page I found on Instagram of, I forget what it's called, but it's like mechanical robot rock or something. This guy makes robots and he gets the robots to play guitars and pianos and drums and they're playing at like 10,000 BPM. It's pretty insane. But that just reminded me of it when you said robot rock. So double plucking, or as I like to call it, double stroking, because you're really not plucking it in each way. I'm going to turn this into a tiny little masterclass, okay? It shouldn't just be all about the different sounds, but you're here online with me and I want to take you through an experience. So I'll give you a little tip. Double plucking, double stroking, because if you're plucking a mouth harp, it's really hard to go fast. But what I do is I take my finger, I cross my index, my middle finger behind my index finger, and I give it support, because just this right here doesn't have so much power and support in this joint, in this knuckles to keep that tension, right? It's this muscle right up in here actually is what's holding the finger. So I support it behind, and the two together give me that support that I need. Now, look at this. I'm bending my wrist and I'm keeping my finger vertical. I mean, look, in the camera, it's literally in line with my nose, right? It's this. It's not this. Straight up. And to get that, then I'm going from the elbow here. You see how I've got a very rigid, very straight little wave. I'm going high, right? So I'm going to say high to my left because I'm right-handed. So like this, all the way over and what I need to do first is start plucking forward and backwards. It's not a this, it's this. All right, got that? So I'm gonna pluck forward and backwards, but I'm not gonna pluck, I'm not gonna touch it at all. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wave. Listen. I don't touch it. I get a little bit closer and closer until right here in the middle of all the little concentric rings of the print of my index finger, right here, that little ridge that pops out, that is what catches the mouth harp in a double stroke or double pluck, okay? So I'm essentially gonna come here, I'm gonna do it this way so you can kind of see what I'm doing here, right? I'm gonna go past it, I'm gonna just graze it, barely touch, barely touch, barely touch, barely touch. What you do is you try to barely touch without making a single sound. Ready? Touch, 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 touch. And then what you can do is you can apply a tiny bit more pressure. Try to get it consistent, try to get it even, a little bit more pressure. And if you do a little bit more pressure, then you also have to go a little bit farther. So a little bit farther out, a little bit farther in, just a tiny bit. Watch. A little bit more pressure. You just learn this slowly. You train yourself to just go. If you go straight into it, you're just gonna, no. Gentle, control, focus. A little bit more pressure, a little bit more movement, a little bit more speed. My finger's still vertical. All right, so that right here was a B1, which Nomad Harpist says that he uses for double plucking. And I'm going to jump straight into the treble range, and I'm going to demonstrate some double plucking or double stroking on a higher range, which will allow me to go faster because the tongue will be even more tense. Okay, so super treble A2, here we go. This for a long time was the highest note in my diatonic set, which I also then play A2, A1 and A0 in my little ninja star, and there's a track that we've been working on recording with my band Third Pulse. Need some more water. It's called Wolf Run, and I start with the super deep one, and then I go up to the second, and then I go up to the third, and picture wolves running in the forest, 3 wolves, and I pick up the pace with it. So it's underway, it's recorded, it needs some mastering, but Third Pulse, that's the name of my band. So we're now down to A2. All right, you feel that? Same thing. Gentle touch. Consistency. More pressure. More speed, more volume, a little bit of breath, little finger. Man, Mobile's getting better. I can't do that on my A2. I might have to get a newer one. So, let's see. A2, I'm gonna put that back down. And, hello. It's the moment my family's coming in, one after the other. So, A2, B2, that's my next one. Got it. before I jump into that, I didn't do anything else other than super explosive on this one. So let's play a little melodics here. Okay, and jumping straight back into B2. Let's see if any more comments here. Nomad Harpist, I use the third finger with both the second and fourth supporting it. Third finger with second and fourth. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's nice because it's longer, so you get a little bit more reach. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty laser-like effect on this one. So, B2. And into the third octave, C3. So C3 and D3, these are our final two in the entire range here. These are the highest that they go. C3 and D3 are new models within the last couple of years. That is why I had A. Previously, A was the highest. So A, then B came out, and then C came out, and now we've got D. So the D3 is absolutely wicked, and the D2 is almost as wicked. So this, I'm gonna switch around from playing out, and I'm gonna focus on in like this. Right? I like to play high-pitched, sharp, melodic mouth harps on the in pluck. Actually, all mouth harps that are played on the teeth with the trigger like this in this design are best played inwards. If you play them outwards, you can pull it out too far. It weakens the molecules in the steel over time. It shortens the life of your mouth harps. Take note, remember that. It's a fact. I have broken so many mouth harps in the past, and since I switched to inwards playing, I don't break mouth harps anymore. Let's listen to the pure melodics here, the high notes, the overtones. Here, listen to the overtones. With a little melodic breathing. All right, going in to the last one. C3, that was, and this is now D3. Pretty wild, huh? Now imagine that. You've got a D3. Let's go back down just to compare to the D1. And then the D2. And then the D3. Botanical Talib asks me, can you work the sustain on the C3 a little more on the slower melodic playing? Yes, of course I can. Let me put these back on their respective blocks. Remember, always wipe your Parmupills. They really do get affected by the condensation of your breath on the cold steel. and oil. A little drop of mineral oil, vegetable oil, coconut oil works great. And D3. Okay, so you said the C2. Sorry, C3. Is that good? It's, of course, far less longevity in the sustain than the lower octaves, but still, it rings out wonderfully. So now, I am going to cycle back through all of the ones that I just played, of the entire range. And I have here, actually, let me categorize these while I'm at it a little bit. Just tell you how many of each I have, because if this, yeah, you're welcome. If this is something that interests you, I can let you know how many I have, because they're gonna go quick. And I only have one or two of each type of mouth harp. One or two of each note or key of these Parmupills in stock. Some I maybe have three, let's see. So A1, B1, G1, D3, A2, and I'm about to play all of them one after the other here, okay? As soon as I do a little organization. C, D, yes. C3, D3, F1. It's confusing. There's so many of them. E3, E1, F1, G1, A1, B1, C, D, E, E. Okay. You know what? I've got a whole range here. I've got some extra ones, but I'm not gonna hold you on while I organize all these. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this into a post, and I'm going to list how many I have of each. And that'll be a lot simpler, because then you don't have to go back to the video to remember it. Okay, so Nomad Harpist says, I have Shipanov at these frequencies, G2 to C2. They sound laser sharp, but have a very delicate trigger that loses its position after a playing session. Oh, interesting. I believe the Parmupills trigger is more robust for those fast double stroking. Yes, the Parmupills are solid. They also very rarely squeeze together when playing because they're robust. In the longer, lower, or for example, if I really bite down, I will get a little touching, clinking sound. But I had to forcefully try that. Otherwise, they're not flexible in the frame, which is really cool, because oftentimes you have a very, very, very good sounding mouth harp, amazing springiness, flexibility, everything, but the frame isn't quite solid enough to withstand its own weight. So when you squeeze it with your teeth, or even if you just touch it and squeeze it with your fingers, then it'll clink. And that's a sensitivity, which also goes hand in hand with how close it is. If it's a mouth harp that has very wide gaps, and if the frame is a little flexible, when you squeeze them in, they won't touch. But that's because the gaps aren't tight enough anyway. So all you'll do is you'll make it sound better. A mouth harp that has such accurate sensitivity, tightness of the gaps, that you could, imagine you could do like cut a hair if you passed it through. That's ideal. You shouldn't be able to do anything but barely see a crack of light. And if you hold those, oftentimes you just squeeze it and it clinks. So yes, Zilagi's harps are some of the harps are not. Some of the harps are very robust as well, but also they are cold bended. I'm not sure how the Parmupills are, but I believe they're I haven't seen the process, so I can't comment on how they are, but there are many different processes. Some are cold, some are forged. The way it looks like to me that they are possibly cold bent and then forged and flattened to get this shape here, but likely they are heat bended and forged. So that'll help a mouth harp have a lot of rigidity as well, because in the process of the making, the heat and the tempering that happens helps hold it all together. So now I'm gonna ask you all if you have any questions before I go ahead and play the entire range from beginning to end. If you do, you can drop me a comment, and I'll tell you back right now as I get ready for this sort of final thing. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take the opportunity, if you may. I'm going to introduce myself and present this whole thing, because what I'll do is I'll probably actually cut that end of the video and post it as a separate video. I think that might be really helpful for everyone. So bear with me while I, switch moods, but I'm going to create a new video here on live. I have my second phone behind my first phone right now, recording everything in direct video. So here we go. Let's see, any questions? If not, I'm gonna get a sip of water. All right, it's time for lunch after this. Are you ready? I remind everyone that if you want to order one of these, just shoot me a message through World Harps and tell me which key you're interested in. And while I'm here in the States, I can ship one out to you. And if you are in India or in other countries of the world, I can ship to you from here as well, but shipping costs will be higher. I can also take back to India and ship to you from India when I get back in October. Just let me know what you'd like, and it's all possible. So I'm gonna start over, new video here. Welcome to World Harps. My name's Neptune. I'm gonna play for you right now every single key of the entire range of Estonian Parmupills from G0 all the way up to D3. I just got a new shipment of Parmupills straight from Estonia. It arrived. I just did a live video. You can check it out on the World Harps page, and I'm super excited. But right now, I'm gonna give you a demo of every single mouth harp in the range so that you can come back to it for easy reference. All right? We have 4 ranges. We have the super treble. We have the, going from the bottom. We have the ultra bass, we have bass, we have treble, and we have super treble. And there's a post on the profile back in May, I think I posted it, explaining all the different characters of the different Parmupills, and I'm probably just going to use that content, and I'm going to post it once again so that it can be ready and available for easy reference. So here we go. Starting with no discussions in between. I'm going to try not to talk, and I'm just going to name the harp and I'm going to play it. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. G0 in the ultra bass range. Next, A0, also in the ultra bass range. Following that, B0. in the ultra bass range, we have still C, let's see, which was the last one? D1. So B0 still ultra bass. I'm just going to divide here. D1. Okay. Continuing. No talking. C1. And the final one in the ultra bass range, D1. Moving on into the bass range. Bass range goes from E1 to B1, just sorting separate so that I know not to get confused. 5 mouth harps. Let's go. Bass range. E1. F1. Next up, G1 in the bass range. Two more to go in the bass range. A1. And last one, B1 in the bass range. Moving forward into the treble range. This goes from C2 all the way to G2. So let's just identify so I know where to stop. Here we go. C2 to G2, the treble range in the Estonian Parmupills by Mopel. Gotta keep it short, keep them going. Otherwise I'll get lost in the music. Next, D2. Up next, E2, still in the treble range. That was fun. And F2. And final one in the treble range, G2. Last range, the super treble range. This goes from A2 to D3, starting with A2. B2. Two more to go. C3, jumping into the third octave in the super treble range. Superpower. And the last one of the entire range, out of the super treble range, D3. Well, folks, thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, you can just send me a message at World Harps right here on Instagram or on Facebook. My name is Neptune. This is World Harps, mouth harps from around the world. And these are the Estonian Parmupills by Mopil. Just send me a message if you'd like to order one. And I'll be doing some more lives in the very near future with different mouth harps. Next package up, also just received our drimbas and munharpis by Dirnavoy from Ukraine. Also been waiting for a very long time. Received this package. Are you ready? Stay tuned. I'll be announcing the date and time, maybe even by tomorrow. Let's see. All right. Thank you for joining. Once again, my name is Neptune. Have a great day.